Hello, how are you today, sir?
Well, I'm doing good.
That's good. Well, look, I am so glad that you were able to come in and talk to me today. And I just want to go over a few things before we get started. Is that okay with you?
That's right.
Okay. How are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing good.
All right. How are you doing with all the midst of all this COVID going on? And how's your family and how are you doing?
Well, my family today we're doing well, and we're in some uncharted territory.
Uh huh. Yeah, it's pretty scary, huh?
You know it is.
It is scary. Again, my name is Sheila Neighbors, and I'm here with this agency, and we're here to provide resources and information to families who come in during this time of crisis. So there are a few paperworks and things that I have to fill out, and you'll probably have to sign some,
Yes.
and then we'll go over all the information as we go forward. Okay?
Yes.
And my goal today is to be able to provide you with some information so that you'll feel a little bit comfortable in applying for whatever help that you need or whatever support that you and your family need.
Yes.
Does that sound like something for you?
Yes.
Let me explain something to you. Our agency is here. I'm here to provide assistance and support, and understand that there are going to be some things that I'm going to be asking you that may sound personal or maybe you may be uncomfortable with asking me, but understand that the things that you say to me is confidential. I will not use it or share with anybody unless, I am a licensed social worker, and that means that there are certain laws and things that I'm required to report.
Yes.
So if you tell me something that, that has hurt a child or a vulnerable adult, then I'm required by law to report that.
Yes.
Is that okay? You understand that?
Yes.
Okay, and also, and if you understand that, then you're okay with that, then we can go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Let me just ask you something. Just breathe. It's okay.
Yes.
Can you tell me your name? And you don't have to. You can your name if you don't mind.
My name is Thomas Harris.
Okay. Now, do you go by Thomas Harris, or what do you go by?
Some call me Tom.
Tom. Okay.
Yes.
Well, what do you want me to call you today?
Well, either one.
Either one.
Tom or Thomas.
Tom or Thomas.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I do. When you say Tom, you smile, so I think I'm gonna call you Tom.
Yes.
Okay. Tom, can you tell me why are you here today?
Okay. We have been shut down from April the 1st to April the 20th.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in to see about some unemployment.
Unemployment. Okay. Now, Mr. Tom, let me ask you something. How I got to get some demographics.
Yes.
Are you from Tupelo?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now, do you mind talking to me about how old? Tell me how old you are.
I'm 74.
You're 74.
Yes.
So you're in applying for unemployment.
Yes.
So you're still working.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what type of work do you do?
I'm a hairstylist.
You're a hairstylist. Well, tell me about that. Tell me what is a hairstylist? What kind of stuff do they do?
Well, some they cut hair,
Okay.
and some of them they fix hair,
Okay.
but I mostly cut.
You cut.
Yes.
Okay. Well, how long you been cutting?
Well, I started in 1963.
1963.
Yes.
Man, that's a long time.
Yes.
Okay, it's 1963. So you've been cutting hair about how long?
Okay, from 1963 until this is 2020. I'm gonna let the math student they do the.
Let the math do. Okay,
Yes.
so I bet that looks like about over 50 years.
Yes.
Okay, so when you talk about being cutting hair, you smile, you light up. So do you enjoy that?
I enjoyed. Yes.
You enjoy it, and you're 74.
Yes.
Okay, now Mr. Tom, do you still drive?
Yes.
Okay, you still drive. Okay, all right. Now are you still active? Do you get out? Are you what do you work regular 40 hours a week or how?
Well,
what does your schedule look like?
Well, my schedule is Mondays, Tuesdays, and I'm off Wednesdays.
Okay.
Work Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays,
Okay.
and off Sundays.
Okay. So on your off days, so now I bet that is kind of hard for you right now. When you were working Monday, Tuesday, and then on Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays to go to not being able to work at all.
Yes.
That's a lot. Well, how does that make you feel?
Well, it's an adjustment that I had to go through, and I try to find something to do my spare time.
What kind of stuff do you enjoy doing,
I
Mr.
enjoy
Tom?
fishing.
Fishing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So with this COVID like this now, have you had an opportunity to go fishing?
Just 2 times.
Did you catch anything?
Didn't catch a thing.
Didn't. Oh my goodness. That means you have to go back. You're gonna have to. What kind of things are you fishing for?
Well, I fish for bass and catfish and the crappie.
Oh, okay. All right then. Well, that's good. Now I don't know anything about fishing, but I tell you one thing, I do like fish.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know. So now, man, that's a lot. Now, before this shutdown, how active were you? I know that you said that you were working. You
Yeah.
worked every day. And on Wednesday, what kind of things did you do on your off days, like Wednesdays and Sundays? What kind of?
Well, usually I have some rent houses, and what I
Okay.
do, I have to remodel them from time to time,
Uh-huh.
check on the plumbing and anything else they need.
Now you're telling me you're doing all this at 74 years old?
Yes,
And that's a blessing.
yes.
It is. That's a blessing. Now on Sundays, or do you have a spiritual? Are you spiritually? Do you go to church, or do you have any faith or beliefs?
Oh yes, I'm the trustee of my church.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now.
also the church clerk.
Ooh, you just like that little rabbit. Just keep going and going and going.
Yes.
And you're I'm going back to 74. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a lot. Are y'all having church service now, or?
We had it the first Sunday,
Okay.
and then after that we kind of playing it by ear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I tell you what, that it has a lot to do with that. And so when you came in and you wanted to talk to me, you were having some concerns about getting some forms that you need to fill out
Yes.
for your unemployment.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, and I've heard on the TV that you have to do it online,
Okay.
so I wasn't familiar about that, so that's why I came to your office.
Okay. So now, a lot of times now everything is gone to online. Do you have? Are you familiar? Are you uncomfortable with technology like cell phones or computers, or do you ever use the computer?
I very seldom use a computer.
Okay. Well, let me ask. You've been in business all these years. How do you keep up with, like? Do you still do it the old-fashioned way, or do you have another way that you do things?
Well, I do it the old-fashioned way. When my
Okay.
customers come in, usually I write their names down.
Okay.
And that's where I keep up with them from day to day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me just give you some good news.
Okay.
I can help you.
Okay.
I can help you access the computer and kind of show you how to do it.
Yeah.
Now, it may take us a minute, but you'll have to do it. Now, and we'll get that taken care of.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you something. What are there things that prior to becoming 74? When will you be 75?
July the 4th.
Oh my goodness! On the 4th of July.
Yes.
Are you gonna have a big old bang party?
Well, you just never know.
You never know. Okay, that's all right. Now let me ask you this. This is something I just wanted to go thinking about where you are in life now.
Yes.
And you say you're 74. From talking to you, I can tell you very active.
Yes.
You just going. How has life transitioned? How has your body changed from now when you were probably in your 50s or your 30s? What are some of the changes that you had to endure physically? I'm just talking about physical changes that you have had to endure.
Well, I really hadn't had much. I try to eat more healthy.
Okay.
Yes, I try to eat fruits and vegetables and try to not eat late at night.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now back, I remember my grandmother when I was growing up. Man, she used to eat all kind of like fatback and ham hocks and all that fried stuff.
Yeah.
And now and back then that's what the kind of food that they had. But nowadays people eat more fruit and vegetables.
Yes.
Did you change your diet, or did you used to eat some of that kind of stuff?
I never cared much about your pigfoots and the chitlins and stuff like that. I try to stay away from the food like that would probably give you diabetes and heart problems.
Okay, so you pretty much been health conscious of that all your life.
Yes.
All right, that's all right. Well, maybe that's why. What I need to do, being 70, you're 74. Do you have high blood pressure or diabetes or anything?
No diabetes.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Okay.
I takes a blood pressure pill each day.
Okay. Just one?
Just one a day.
One a day.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's incredible. Now I know that you talk now physical. Any ailments, any aches, any pains that you feel? Do you have any of that or?
No aches or pain.
None.
None.
Oh my goodness. It's 74.
It's 74.
That's a blessing. Okay, let's talk about, sometimes as one age, our ability to be our cognitive, the way we think and the way we process stuff. Have you noticed any deterioration, or are you still able to, you still manage your own business,
Yes.
take care of all that?
Yes.
So how would, on the scale from 1 to 10, with 1 being, oh, it's not so well, and with 10, like, I'm still good, I can handle my own business.
Yes.
Where do you find yourself?
Between 8 and a 9.
8 and a 9, okay.
Yes.
And what about physically on a scale from 1 to 10? Where do you
I
find
put
yourself?
it in the same condition.
Okay, 8, that's pretty good, Mr. Tone.
Yes.
Okay, now what about, we talked about this COVID, and it's going and it's impacting a lot of people, and not just people who are older, but it's impacting people from babies and just a lot of people. And I see that you said that you attend the church and you hold offices at your church and you have different positions that you do.
Yes.
So how are you coping? How are you handling, not being able to go to your shop?
Yes.
Not being able to go probably see, because when you talk about your barbershop, you light up, you just smile. So, and there's a sense of community,
Yes.
especially since you've been cutting for 50 years. So I can only imagine that your clients, the people that come see you, are like family.
Yes.
Is that would that be true?
Yes. Yes.
It would.
Yes.
So how are you dealing with not seeing them?
It's tough.
It's
I have a lot of guys, they retired from on their jobs, and they look to come each day. And
They come every day.
every day, and we just can't congregate.
You just can't come in. So is that hard?
It's tough.
It's
Awful tough.
It's awful tough.
Yes.
So how do you cope with that, Mr. Tom?
Well, I just hope this coronavirus is over pretty soon, so we can get back to our regular routine.
And so y'all just have shop talk.
Shop talk. We have many guys. Some of them have retired from off the police department, and school teachers and all them people can come by.
Oh, I bet y'all just have an interesting conversation. Are all the people who, those who guys, most guys?
Yeah, most of the guys come by.
Okay.
Very few ladies during our conversation.
Okay.
Some do if they's in there at the time.
Okay, so what kind of things do, if you don't mind, what kind of things would y'all talk about?
We talk about sports, talk about politics, and all different stuff like that.
Okay, so are you do you like sports?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What kind of sports do you like?
Well, football, baseball, basketball, and I started watching golf when Tiger Woods came on the scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, who is your favorite team?
Well, it all depends on which of my basketball.
Okay, well, I'm going to say football. Who is your favorite football?
Football team, probably Seattle Seahawks.
Okay, see, Mr. Harris, I don't know anything about football, so but if you comfortable with them,
Yeah.
and what about basketball?
Basketball, Golden State Warriors.
Okay, so they pretty good.
They have been. They kind of down right now because they had some guys retired and some got injured.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So you keep up with who's playing and who's not playing.
Yes.
Okay. Now let me ask you: did you ever think that you would live to see 74 and still be able to own your own business, still operating, still going, driving, have rental property? Then do you cook?
I cook a little.
Okay. So did you ever think that at 74 years old you'll still be able to do the things that you're doing?
Well, I hope I will, but you just never know. I kind of play it day by day.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So if you could project how much longer you think you got on this world, what would you say?
On this world or being in the working my barber shop.
Okay. Okay. Being in this world, living, being.
Well, in my family,
Okay.
my father, he was 104 when he passed away.
104.
Yes.
Okay. What
My
about
mom,
you?
she was 98.
So that means if you're doing the math,
Yeah.
you got 104 and then 98, then that means you got some good genes. You hoping you get them good genes. That good gene. Okay, and if you eat right and healthy, and it looks like, you're still doing all these wonderful things. But I want to go back and explore this because you said something. I said, well, how much longer and I'm gonna get. You said how much longer are you gonna be at your shop?
Yes.
You know, how you know? Do you ever see yourself retiring or slowing down a little bit?
I believe my body will tell me when it's time.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So your body ain't telling you it's time.
That's it.
Okay, so there's no, you're not looking to retire no time soon.
I look at going to 3 days a week before I just walk away.
Okay, 3 days a week.
And that'll be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday before
So-
I just walk away.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you something, Mr. Tom. That's kind of interesting. I'm just trying to figure out. I bet with you being in business for over 50 years, what type of? I mean, I'm sure you probably cut children and grandchildren, and do you cut generational people's hair?
Oh, yeah, I have done the granddad, the dad, and the grandson. Or just, well, I've been in business over 50 years, so you know it came down through the generation.
Okay, so do you have customers? So you still do you make house calls or?
I don't make house calls. I go to the hospital.
Okay,
I
okay.
have some customers in the hospital, but I don't make house calls.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right. Well, it has been wonderful talking to you. Is there anything else that you know? Because I know that what we're gonna do now
Mhm.
is help you fill out these papers for the computer,
Yes.
and then we'll get that to see that we can get that taken care of. And then I want something else. I want to go back because I like to cook too myself.
Yes.
What kind of things do you enjoy cooking, or that you feel like you're good at?
Probably barbecuing
Okay.
and probably cooking chicken dressing.
Chicken and dressing.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And I've heard that you make some good dressing. Let me, Mr. Tom, I know that you cut hair,
Yes.
and you cut hair for a business because
Yeah.
that's your business.
Yes.
Do you see that you are doing anything to give back to the younger generation, or to help the younger people, or to instill? I mean, if you had to, what are you leaving for the next generation?
Well, I don't know. You take the young guys that's coming in there now that's going into the barber profession. I try to teach them that they have to put up their own retirement. One thing.
Okay.
Yes. And they can't spend everything they make. They got to lay so much aside for the rainy day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do that.
Yes.
So do you have now? Now, are you a father?
Yes.
Okay. You're a grandfather.
And grandfather. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you have a lot of hats that you wear.
Yeah, I sure do.
You do. Okay. Now, out of all those hats, which one that makes you most proud?
Well, being able to see my grandkids
Okay.
grow up and be successful.
Okay.
None of them been in prison, been in jail.
Okay.
So that's what I like.
That's a blessing, isn't it?
You know, yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, all right. So you have now. So I have you down here. It's been 74. You have your own business, and you still do. If you were told that you had to sit down, you wasn't gonna be able to go to the barbershop anymore, and you just had to sit down and no more work and do. How would you feel? How do you think that would make you feel?
I know it's gonna come one day,
Uh-huh.
but I just I don't know how to think about that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, that's something that we can talk about. I like that you're still trying to instill something into the younger generation who's coming after you with that. Well, if you don't have any other questions, we're gonna fill this form out,
Yes.
and then see can we help you get the information that you need. Are you interested in learning how to operate the computer and seeing all that kind of things? Are you interested in that?
Maybe one day.
One day?
Yes.
Not today?
Not today.
Not today. Okay, so right now you just want to get those forms filled out.
Oh yes.
And if I had to summarize everything that we talked about, one of the things I know you're ready for this COVID to be gone,
Yes.
so that you can get back to your business of being active and in the community.
Yes.
Okay, and so in the little time, in the meantime, you've been enjoying some fishing. Ain't caught nothing,
Okay,
but you're still fishing.
Still fishing.
Well, I would encourage you, Mr. Tom, to continue to go fishing, as much as you can. Make sure that you're practicing social distancing. You know how important. Do you understand what that is?
Yes.
What do you, when they talk about that?
Well, the social distance, is one thing. It stays 6 feet from each other.
Okay,
Oh yeah, and probably stay in as much as you can,
okay,
and just go out when it's necessary.
okay. Now, where'd you get all that information? Now, who's keeping you up?
Well, it's been on TV.
You been on
It's been
TV?
on
So
TV.
okay, so you're listening, so you get your information from the TV.
Yes.
Okay, well, good. That's wonderful. Okay, well, make sure you're doing that. Continue. I would, you normally when I'm talking to people, sometimes I have to tell them, make sure that you continue to stay healthy. But Mr. Harris,
Yes.
you are doing that. You're staying physical. You still on your business. You're eating right, and you're taking care of yourself. You're giving in. So I think you're doing pretty good. Don't you think so?
Yes.
You're doing good. Any questions?
No question.
Anything that I need to clarify or go back over with you?
No.
Okay. Now I'm gonna help you to fill out this form so that you can get the necessary paperwork. And hold there. I want to take this time now, as we conducted our interview, to introduce you all to somebody very special to me, Mr. Tom. Turn around, Dad.
Yes.
This is my daddy. He volunteered. Well, I kind of voluntold, asked him to do this with me, and he did. And my father is 74, and he is very active. And I'm so thankful that I have this opportunity to do this with my dad. Thank you. You got anything you want to say to my students?
Give the world your best, and the best will come back to you.
Okay. Thank you.